Hello and good morning. My name is Ace. I am a hobbyist and I like to do digital and 3D art. Okay. Today we are working on probably going to end up finishing this piece today. Okay. This is mainly done for practice. What I'm doing is I'm making 3D meshes to use as reference for a webcomic that I'm working on. I've written an entire volume. Okay. I'm currently editing it. There's some things that I still need to do off stream for the 3D mesh, but soon we're going to be rotating back to that. If not, I'll do another 3D or sorry, another digital art piece as practice in the meantime. Okay, I'm working on clothing. There's been some updates to some things that I use to make clothing, and some new features have been added. So I want to make sure that I can use those features to the fullest. Good morning, 99. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, we're I'll probably do another digital piece before we and then mix in the 3D mesh in between that. But until then, we're going to be working on that. We're working on the light sources in this, and we're going to try to uh, finalize some of the background here. Okay, I got an entire volume written for my webcomic, and this piece has nothing to do with webcomic, but I want to establish how I want the webcomic to look. I'm pretty sad, besides the background, which is a little rough. I'm kind of going with this type of style here for the webcomic. Okay, I know I've been doing this piece for here and there a little bit, little by little for the past week or so, but I promise you that I could probably do a bi-weekly or even a daily upload for the webcomic. So that's my target goal for the webcomic as far as uploads are concerned. I still need to get a domain though. So we're gonna just go ahead and just get started, okay? I still need to get a domain for the webcomic. I've been putting that off. I'm going to go with WordPress. They have a lot of webcomic add-ons that you could just add to the website, and the domain pricing is pretty affordable. It's very cheap. So you'll let's say sometime in the future, well, I'm gonna add the link to the webcomic down there. And I'm not sure when I'm going to actually start doing it. I know that after I do 7 mesh characters, fully rig them, clothe them, whatever, I can start doing pages then. It takes me about, uninterrupted. It takes me about a week to do a mesh. So maybe sometime in the summer, if I'm lucky, I could start actually doing pages. I don't know. I know I'm working a little slow here. That's because I'm trying to adjust my schedule around streaming and the hopefully structuring the stream a certain way will help me structure my webcomic a little bit better. My webcomic art. I draw every morning, so I decided to just stream it, whatever. So I'm a little bit still a little bit disorganized here, but we're gonna I promise you we're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on that, okay? I think we're doing pretty well, all things considered. I like to have things ready to draw. I feel like having something to draw for the stream is makes everything go smoothly. I thought this idea up beforehand. This is one of my older OCs, and got this. Oh yes, yes, yeah. Thank you for the support. I appreciate everyone comes in and watches, whether it's through the YouTube or VODs or live. But yeah, I like having things ready to go. I mean, I think I have a pretty decent imagination. I can if I finish this today, I could probably start another piece if I really wanted to. But I like to have things planned ahead of time. I feel like I'll do better, a lot better when I do that. Let's see, color light too. Okay, this is the secondary light. Almost didn't notice it. It's very subtle when it's there. Let's see, and that's shadow color light. Want to make sure I'm on the right layer here. Okay. Okay, that's the primary light. All right, so that's what layer we're going to be working in. I was doing some editing yesterday and looking at Act One as a whole. I want to read through the entire act first, but it looks like there's that's it's a little loose now that I've had a lot of time away from it and kind of thin, but it's an easy fix. I think if I just rearrange the order of certain events in Act One, it'll make better sense. There's some things that I kind of like. I want to kind of change a little bit, not completely, just basically, just like I said, just reorder the order of events, and I think it'll turn out better. So, those of you who have read the first draft, which I think is about two people, hopefully more, um, I want to have someone read the next draft too. I'll post it. I'm gonna post it somewhere. This is for the people that I know. Um, But if you've read the first draft, it's not going to be completely. It's not going to be like super changed as far as Act One is concerned. But the ordering of certain events will be rearranged just a little bit. So we're going to. So we already did that, right? I'll tell you what we can do. Let me put in the clouds. All right. That's what I think we will do. I need my cloud colors. That work? Yeah, I guess that did work. Okay. Got my cloud colors. What's this? Oh yeah, that's the lines. We're not gonna. Yeah, the lines are rough. I didn't really line anything up. I just sketched it and then I just painted the background and then removed the lines. It gives it a very rough feel, so it looks like a blur, but it's a little too rough compared to this. I think I'm not gonna really worry about the background too much. The webcomic won't be like that. It's gonna be I'm gonna put as much as I can in the background without it distracting from whatever's going on in the foreground. Okay. Yeah, I want to be on this layer. All right. Now we're going to do some clouds. I need my cloud brush now. We got the cloud color. I need the cloud brush. So you can just see it has a little. I don't know. It's very very cloud like shape. Okay. Very useful for clouds. I'm just going to adjust the shape here. But I don't know. I really want to get this out there because what are we doing here? Oh, I know what I did. I need a whole other layer. Whoops. I really want to get this out here because I'm very interested. This is like my first real story that I've made. I used to make little comics in high school, and I just did it as I went along. But this is like my first real effort with at an art project. I think I've done a wall mural, and besides school projects, but and some things that I've posted in various forums across the internet over the years. But this is I put everything into this, so I'm very interested to hear some feedback on it. Let me see. Do I want to do a multiply, or maybe let's do screen, see what happens. Okay, it's a little too much. We'll adjust that real quick. That's a little better. That's a little better. I got your feedback right. Okay. That sounds like a threat. I'm afraid, but I'm okay. I welcome that too. Any kind of criticism is welcome. I'm really trying to make sure that this story makes sense, and for the most part it does, but it's a little light. It's a little light right now. I reached a part of it. I reached a part of the story it seems a little like it needs a little bit more refinement. But I got some really exciting ideas that I feel will enhance the story a little bit without changing it too much. So I really want to implement those. I'm gonna go back a little bit, okay? From what I read last time, you were right on track and already adjusted with notes I had. Okay. Yeah, I what I do is I've been staying away from it. I finished editing the prologue. I think the prologue is as good as it's gonna get. And I feel like when I started the 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 story, the prologue was the easiest to write for me. I don't know why, because I was writing it off the cuff, but I think before that I was like I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I wanted to how I wanted it to progress. It's almost like it's its own story. But then Act One, I think when I was starting Act One, it felt like I was just trying to get from point A to point B a little bit. But we're going to be making sure that I mean it was still interesting. It was just it felt like it felt a little lighter than the prologue. Act Two, I can tell you right now, I read completely off the cuff, and it's more like an investigative story, sort of, and it's written most of it is from the perspective of a character that isn't the main character. It's written from a different perspective. So, and I just did that. I was like, okay, you know what? I just did it. I don't even know. Like I had no plan with it or whatsoever. I just did it, and I like the way it turned out. I'm leaving it in. It almost reads like a filler, but it's not. It's actually relevant to what's going on. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what kind of feedback I'm gonna get from that part of the story. Hopefully, it doesn't take away from what's going on too much, and then it slowly becomes like more relevant to slowly starts shifting toward the perspective of the main character a little bit. Let's see. You want some sky? I need to get some sky up in here. But yeah, just little adjustments here and there. Um, I'm a pretty good speller and grammar person. I don't know if that comes across in the stream, but when I edit my own story, I've made a lot of mistakes that I did not catch the first time I wrote it. I'm actually very surprised. There's a lot of spelling and grammar errors. I only make a few grammar errors when I'm, I'm speaking, but it's a surprising amount in the story. I guess you just don't see it the first time because you see the story more than what you're writing, right? I don't know. At least that's how it was for me. Because I'm kind of like plugged into my own imagination when I'm writing, so it's like I can see what's going on. I know how the panels are gonna go, and um, yeah, that's just how it is, I guess. I don't know. I need a deeper blue. Do I have a deeper blue on this palette? I'm looking at a palette. I have a palette off screen here, and I'm trying to see if any of these colors will work in this painting mode here. The sky's a little too light. The sun's over here, so it'll be more blue over here. Okay, well, you know what? We're just gonna wing it now. None of these colors are working for me because of the coloring mode that I'm using. So I'm gonna make it extra blue. Uh, that's okay, I guess, but I think this would be more over here since that's where the light is. So we're gonna make it even more blue because why not? Yeah, but I feel like it's a much better story than before. Why not? That's how I art. Yeah, it's good. I don't even though I plan on using a lot of reference. Like I like to have some room to go off script a little bit, so to speak. You never know what might you experiment with something and it might work. I mean, that's how I came up with this style here. I kind of did the hatching like out of the blue, and I like the way it turned out. And that's mainly because I keep seeing art has really good hatching in it, and I wanted to try it myself. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put it in, and I put it in. I was like, huh, this could work if I can get it to look better. I think it could work. And it's things like that drive art forward. In a way. I don't like. I think it's very boring to just copy exactly what you see when you're using a reference. So if you don't know how to draw something, you use it as a guide, and you just try to find a middle ground in between there. But I don't want to. And plus, when I was using Google Images as reference, it was very time consuming and hard to find something that was so exact to what you're drawing that it's almost impossible, almost. And then there's still like the light levels of there's still differences like with the light level that it's in your picture versus the Google picture and the perspective and for a long time I just rolled with that. I tried to just try to find a something that looked kind of accurate. I think for the most part it was all right, but for a web comic, I want to have a little more consistency. I want to experiment with exaggerated colors, but I can't use a palette the way I want on clips. Exaggerated colors, like what do you mean, like super saturation? We talking about like some pop art, some Andy Warhol type stuff, or maybe like the classical comic book art where you have like a paint background or like a something everything's gold for some reason, and it kind of makes the characters pop. I actually thought about trying that one day for my comic. It's very interesting. I forget the artist that's known for that. I'm sorry. I don't have a frame of reference, but I'll come back to you on that. I think it's there's a Fantastic Four comic. It was a one shot comic that was drawn. It was modern art, but it was the colors were used was inspired by what they did in the '70s, and actually looked really good for like a maybe like a ray gun gothic or just which I guess is the name for like 50 sci-fi things like that. Um, or a very like a Star Trekky future, things. I think that could work for that. I was thinking about doing a future like that for my own story, just a more brighter future. I know there's a lot of dystopian futures out there, but I want to do a future that's it's a bright future, but like it has like a very like nasty underlying layer that nobody really sees underneath of it. It doesn't have to be dystopian, but it's just like this is like yeah, this is the world, but this ain't the whole world. You know what I'm saying? You know how each hue has a default contrast? Yeah, I love retro future. Tired of corporal or yeah, dystopian futures. Yeah, it's been overused, man. Like I think you can do a cyberpunk future without making it look like Blade Runner, right? There's plenty of people who have done it. Oh, okay. Eyedropper is not going to work if you have color picker up. remember that. Anyways, let's see. Okay, I don't want to do screen. I want to do. I'm gonna get some background up in here real quick. Just the colors, the clouds. I mean, oh, we don't want to do that. We definitely don't want to leave it that way. Look like a cloud to you. Starting to look a little phoned in. Okay, we gotta make sure that we I'm just painting things in at this point. The way I'm experimenting is nature hue saturation colors paired with unnatural. EX all the natural light saturation is focal and darker, unnatural for background to make focal point pop. Good morning, Trig. Welcome to the stream. But because the clip picker is that damn triangle instead of the square, it makes it harder to find the colors. Can't you change that? I don't think I'm pretty sure you can change that. Did you see the picture? Yes, I did, Trig. Yes, I did. I don't even remember that one picture that I'm in. I remember my clothing, so I can tell almost I can almost point out the exact time period that was. That was sometime in 10th grade or before, either ninth or 10th grade. I just don't remember where I was when those pictures were taken. That doesn't look like my house. Oh, that was in school? Wow. Yeah, I did sit in the back row. That makes sense. That's interesting. I still don't remember that picture. That's funny. Yeah, that's a math class then. That was math class in 11th grade then, or 12th. John Harris, okay. All right, don't dox me. Not that it really matters. All right. Couldn't. Yeah, it was probably math class. I think. Um, let me see. Trying to see if there's a better color here. These are a little too much. A little too much. Let me try this color. Don't dox me. Yeah. Last Fantasy. Okay, that's funny. I don't even remember the story to that. I remember there was a train that you caught. There was like a train. There was Greyhound weapon. There was the guy from Radio Shack. He had his limit break. Was Bear Claw Heaven. I don't even know that guy. I don't even know why I put him in the comment. I've never seen that guy before in my life. But you guys kept talking about him, so I was like, you know what? He's in now. The stoop. Yeah, yeah. I really wish I had that parody still. That comic. That was literally better than any parody I've ever done. The art thief one. That was hilarious. I had it, but when I left town, um, I left it behind, and that was the last time I saw it. But I kept it. I kept it for a long time. I was like, yeah, I'm keeping this. This is great. I'm wanting to try to erase the whatever I did over the mountains there. I've been shying away from using the eraser lately, but in this case, I'm gonna make an exception. Supreme Rage is the best match. Oh, you were, you were sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it, okay? But it was very entertaining. I was like, you got me on that one. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Everything's all right. Everything's okay. I haven't done a parody in a long time. I don't even know what I would parody these days, to be honest. I mean, it's just not something that I think about. I've just been putting all my effort into my webcomic. Oh nah, yeah, no, you know what? I was actually impressed. I was actually impressed that parody you did was so good. I was like, wow. I wasn't mad about it either. I actually really liked that comic. I wanted to keep it forever. I was like, you know what? I'm keeping this. I'm keeping this forever. This is great. I kept it for years. Uh, but I wish I didn't lose it. I really wish I had it to this day. But I can't control. I couldn't control what happened to my art once I left. I didn't take it with me. So there's that. I'm just doing a really rough cloud background. Okay. Is it a parody of if you're roasting your friends? Well, it was more than that. It was like he parodied my one of my characters, Van Grimm. He parodied me, and he parodied my art, and and I guess oh yeah, he threw I don't think you know him 99, but he threw Jonathan's character CB in there too, and he parodied his character. I don't even know, he wasn't like even involved in it, but I was draw he wanted me to design his OC for him. So I was drawing that a lot, and Trig threw him in too. At least you know, to my knowledge, he was, yeah, he was, I don't think he was doing any of that stuff. Okay, 99. But yeah, art thief. I wasn't an art thief guy. I was inspired by a lot of existing works. Actually, no, that's, you know what? Yeah, when I was in elementary school, I did do a lot of recolors. I did a lot of recolors, and I slowly worked away from that over the years during my time in school. I but yeah, like my OC is a very it's a very dark and edgy like 90s type character. It was heavily inspired by Spawn, which was like one of my favorite comics in the 90s growing up, besides X-Men. And my first character, the first character that I drew that I could call an OC the was that character. He was basically Spawn. He was a purple Spawn. I can tell you the differences right now. His mask was different. Like you know how Spawn has like the rock and roll or the wrestling like design around his eyes. That's normally, you know, outside of comics is where you see a design like that, where it has like the two spikes and then like the half moon crescents around his face. He started off with that, by the way, but then like over time I started like moving away from it because my friends usually made fun of my my rip off characters, and rightfully so. You know, they were basically the same character. It was basically the same character. So I was like, okay, okay, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna start changing it, you know, because I was really invested in the idea, and that idea spawned this entire universe that I'm doing today. It's the same universe. So if I keep streaming in the future, if nothing, you know, if I don't ever, you know, quit doing this, eventually you will see uh what became of those characters. I think the next digital art thing that I do, if I don't circle back to the mesh, um, will be that character. I'll redesign him again, and I can show you all the other designs that he's had over the years because I still have most of them, even back to high school. And some of my friends, like 99 here, he has one picture as well. The Kiss Gene Simmons, yeah, yeah, yeah. And just yesterday I learned it's called corpse paint. Yes, I I didn't know it at the time, but yeah, when I started seeing that stuff in wrestling and rock and roll, I was like, huh, I guess that's where he got it from. And Todd McFarlane, he's in all that stuff too. So, but yeah, yeah, he started off with that, but instead of having chains, he had these cords, right? It was like these cords that wrapped around. Just imagine Doctor Octopus tentacles. He had that instead, right? And he had a purple cape, and of course, guns and all that stuff that you would imagine in a dark and edgy, macabre comic book character. It wasn't demonic though. I didn't want to, like, I tried not to go that route because it was too much. It was too much. I didn't have the whole supernatural angle. I went the sci-fi route, which is still in this universe right here to this day. And he was a scientist. I remember the first. He's not named this anymore, but it was a very generic white bread science origin. His name was Ben Williams, right? Just listen to that name, Ben Williams. And he had this lab in his basement, and then these two guys break in. They were paid by someone. They break into his basement. They shoot him up. Right, he survives, of course. They shoot him up and they steal his science experiment, which is basically this. It's like this quantum mechanics technology that could like form an armored suit around a person. He made that in his basement somehow, and then they steal it. So then he makes another one, and then goes after the guys, and he like follows this trail of people who are involved in this, and that's basically like his origin, right? And then he finds out this woman now has his first suit. There's this other woman character that I have that has that had taken his first suit, but she's actually a good guy for some reason. I don't know where I was going with that one, but they team up and then they have to fight the main villain who was really responsible. Most the way the story it beats are pretty much the same for that story now because I've revised that story in my head. I'm like this close to just storyboarding it because it's going to be an animation one day. Like I know the story well enough. It's more or less similar, but it makes a lot more sense now. This is your character or Spawn? This is my character. Spawn is a government assassin that fell out of favor with his bosses and got murdered and sent to hell. And then he get offers a chance at revenge by accepting this power from a demon, Malboja. But Malboja tricks him, and he comes back like 5 years later, and so yada yada yada. If you just watch the movie, that's it. I'm not gonna explain that whole thing with Spawn. But no, that was not. This is my OC. Okay. Um, but yeah, I had a few origin stories where they were very similar as a result. There was this one where I was like, huh, I was really watching. This is like back in like fourth grade or whatever. This is like right, but actually no, this is either right before or right after I made that character, who I named Dread, by the way, because I was a big Judge Dredd fan. Why does this keep? Is this tracking? Okay, never mind. It just shook. Anyway, I named him Dread because I like Judge Dredd, so I was like, I'm gonna name him Dread. And I'm not even sure if I even came up with that name, to be honest. Um, that might have been like someone else's idea. But anyways, hence the name Art Thief. I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah, his name he was Dread. I mixed a little Deadpool into him. Wasn't a big Grifter fan. I had a friend that really liked Grifter, but I wasn't really a big Grifter fan. Uh, and then a couple of years later, Blade came out, and then so I traded his purple cape for a trench coat and a sword. He didn't have a sword before then, but now as of 19, what was it? Blade came out in 98, I think it was. As of 1998, he started having a sword. All right. Sorry, Webcomic flashed for some reason, and now the auto tracking is back on. I'm not sure why it happened. Anyways, my brain constantly remembers Dread. No, screaming at each other. You, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that was like the, I don't know. We were very amused by that part of the movie. Just somebody just breaks in and just basically just kills everyone in the room. That was basically what my character did. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use that. And it was also the thing with the it's a Gundam, and then you see like light, intense light coming on the guy as he's like shining on the guy as he's screaming, and then you know, he gets blown up because somebody shot at him. So we did that too. I'd be like, oh no, it's Dread, and then like, you know, an energy blast would kill him, kill the guy whoever said it. I never actually drew it, but I like that was like a thing that I always did when explaining how Dread would kill someone. The Dragon Ball fade to white, yeah. Yeah, back then, yeah, we were very many of us were very inspired by Dragon Ball Z. So he had those powers, like the key manipulation powers, as well as guns, and then, you know, the whole suit thing which mimics Spawn's powers. And then I saw a list of weapons that you could use in Turok for N64, and I really liked the concept of that game. I never got to play it, but I was like, I always wanted to play it. But what I did was I made guns based off of that game, Turok, Dinosaur Hunter. Never read the comics either. I should probably give those a look see. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah. So we had that, and then I remember I had like a page, like a few page pamphlet of all the I wrote down all the powers that Dread could do. It was so many. He was basically a Mary Sue at one point. Okay, he was OP, and because me and one of my friends, he had his own OC named Core. It was more he drew in more in the Akira Toriyama style, because he was more influenced by Dragon Ball Z than I was. But his character was more like a Dragon Ball character basically, and we would try to one up each other with what one person could do. You know, what character can do what. So it got to the point where both our characters was just OP and like godlike characters that couldn't die or whatever. I never played the game, never even knew they had comics. Yeah, it's based on a comic. Just that the name Turok takes me to like 2 decades back. Yeah, it's a very classic comic. Um yeah, it was always something I wanted to play, but I never got a chance to, so it's like saying Thrasher magazine. Oh man, wow. Yeah, you're taking us all the way back now. But yeah, that was among the things that I did. And I was saying before that I had another character around the time that I made Dread. I was really into Spider-Man back in the day. And I was like, man, I want to make a character that's like similar to that somehow. But I can't use like the coolest, you know, it's like the best. That's like, I think Spider-Man is like the best way you could do an animal themed character. He's like the most popular. So it's like you already took the best animal, and they have Scorpion, so they took the second best too. You know, for a comic book character. At the time, this was my thinking. Um, Spiders and scorpions. You know, I don't think there's any type of bug that's better than that, right? Or more cooler than that. You know, bee. Even though Marvel has that, Wasp. You know, Bumblebee or was it Yellow Jacket? You know, they took all the cool names already. They got like 5,000 characters. So I was like, you know what they haven't done? Frog Girl. So that was my character. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make Frog Girl. That's my Spider Man now. So I think this was after Dread because I took a little bit more creative uh yeah. And that's why they haven't made a frog. Yeah, I know. That was my character. I put a little bit more effort this time into the design of the character. I try to make it unique. but I wanted the character to swing like Spider-Man. So what I did was, instead of the character have like using, the tongue to swing, I've had like these tendrils that come out of her arms that she could like whip out. It's like these whips, like these tongue whips. They were in her arms, and she would swing on those, right? But basically, this is the origin. She develops all this stuff in her apartment. The same two guys from the Dread story break in, shoot her up, and then take the stuff, and she falls in the aquarium. Basically, Spider-Man actually took this idea, by the way. Jamie Foxx's character Electro, he fell into a tank with genetically modified eels while holding a power cord, and but years before that, that was the origin of Frog Girl. Like, she got shot up and she falls into the tank with mutated frogs, and that's how she gets her powers. And then she just makes a suit that kind of complements those powers. Very original, right? It's like I took my same dumb story and then just ripped it off. You know what I did? I thought that was so amusing that I kept doing that. Those two guys are still in my story. You're gonna see them one day. I just made them like, like, it was one that was bald, one was bald, one has a mullet. I kind of styled them after the Nasty Boys a little bit from wrestling. One has a mullet and one is bald, and they both have these big, gigantic hater blocker sunglasses and these really huge coats, and they just have these big guns, and they just break it like they like people when somebody wants to do like the worst things imaginable to someone, they just call these guys and they'll come and do it. Two dudes from home. If you really want to like use a hammer instead of a scalpel when you're trying to take someone out, these are the guys you send. They just destroy everything. They come in and they just shoot everything and everyone in the way. That was my idea behind that. I left them in the story though, just out of, because I was like, you know what, I can still use that. But this time it'll make more sense. It ain't gonna be no corny stuff. I hope. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe my stuff's still corny. Who knows? But I promise you, I'm an amateur writer, of course, but I'm really putting a lot of effort into making this entertaining and make sense and things like that, while using the same elements that have made my universe what it is. I didn't want to completely disregard that stuff. I'm not ashamed of all the stuff that I've made as a result. These ideas, yeah, hater blockers, yeah, the really big, really big. I don't know, man. It was the '90s, and I'm pretty sure nobody even wore those types of sunglasses anymore, like Bret Hart type sunglasses. But I gave it to those guys. Nobody knows who they are. They just get called in to do like terrible jobs. Nobody takes the jobs they take. The jobs they take are like suicide jobs. Well, except for these jobs, of course. I was thinking about somehow trying to bring back Frog Girl in some capacity too. I'm not sure how I'm gonna make that work though. First of all, the name's dumb. Second of all, the power set's basically Spider-Man. That's also dumb. Her costume was dumb. Her origin's dumb. There's like that's it's like I got my work cut out for me. But I was thinking about trying to bring that character back somehow. I'm back. Oh, the one with the tits. Do you remember what she looks like? 99. I'm having trouble with. I remember what her face looks like. She looked like, basically, picture Speedball from, I believe that was New Mutants, or was it what was the other team? Yeah, I guess it was New Mutants. She looked a lot like that. She had the glass. She had the half cow like Gambit with goggles, and then of course she had the frog like hands and feet, but her real feet and hands were in the glove. I don't know why you would put three-digit gloves on when you have 5 digits, but she did it for some reason. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember she had the whips. She had these big gauntlets. Just picture I gave her the gauntlets that Blade had on Eternal Champions. Those big, really big metal gauntlets with the hole in the center, and then she could fire different things out of them. I took that. I took that. And you know what? I'm not ashamed. I took that. She had those, and she would swing. I didn't get very far in the series, but I remember the origin very well. I didn't go past issue one because something else caught my attention, and I decided to make that. It was probably Dread or something. I'm not even sure anymore what it was, why I stopped that character. But I had a lot of rip-off characters, and I remember every single one of them, and most of them have been redesigned for this new universe because the universe still exists. It's this universe here. This is like the future of that universe, or maybe the past. I don't know. I haven't decided exactly where. I don't think this character would ever come across those characters because they're kind of like in different parts of the universe. You invented Zero Suit Samus before Nintendo. No, well, nah, I didn't. Every pretty much everyone in X Men was Zero Suit Samus, if you think about it, or X Factor, or New Mutants, or Generation X, all the same. It was all the same. Um, but yeah, that's what it was. Get my palette here. Yeah, but I was thinking about somehow trying to bring that character back, and if I have a character in Volume Two that I can slot Frog Girl into, but um, when I was playing with the idea, I'm gonna tell you because I like I can literally write Volume Two right now if I was, but I'm trying to get Volume One going. Um, I think I'm going to make Frog Girl some kind of alien, like an amphibious alien. I think that's the best way I can make that work without having a human woman dressing up as a frog. I like in Smash Brothers wasn't very good, but I did like going into that tiny ball. Oh man, the whips, the suit, the figure, even the colors, and the upward kick. I remember the one pick of her standing in the waist high water. I don't remember any besides that origin I just told you about. I don't remember anything that I drew about that character. She was going to be in a team. Uh, so I think some of that idea is going to carry over to Volume Two. I think I can make her an alien or something for Volume Two. I was thinking of like a pilot of some sort, and I remember a pic of her holding a round bomb. Yeah, so many things, man. There's so many things I've forgotten. I wish I had some of that stuff still because I was like, you know what, I can keep these characters but just make them original. That's my idea behind it. I remember some of them. I don't remember them all though. I had my own Mortal Kombat. I had my own like Terminator like series or whatever. It was ridiculous. Like I just whatever I liked, I just made like my own version of it. It's basically what I did. I'm trying to find the right color here for let's see. Let me do another one. I hyper remember yours and Core's characters. I don't know all of all of his characters. I remember Core and he mentioned a female character once, but I don't remember what she looked like. But he mostly just drew Core and he had another brother too. What was his brother's name? Zane or something like that. Zane, Core and Zane. Those are the only two characters I would always see him draw. But he had other characters. I just don't know um if he ever oh, you know what? The last time I was over his house, he actually did do an origin comic. It was something like he had like these brothers or something, and one of his family members had gotten killed like in a random mugging, and it was like a very like philosophical thing about a religion or something. Like he didn't like because of that event he doesn't believe, and I don't know. It was very very heavy handed, but he did actually make a comic of it, which I thought was interesting. But the guy was like the funniest thing about that comic was he's like, give me all your money and I'll let you live. But the guy didn't take any money. He didn't take any money, and he kills the guy anyway. Like he literally kills him before he has a chance to give him the money. He literally said, "Give me your money, and he won't die." And then he just kills him, and then doesn't take the money. And that was the most hilarious thing to me because that's the type of things that we would draw back then. It was like shit that just did not make any sense whatsoever. But we did it to just drive the story forward. I could name him Music Thief. Zayn in his Russian astronaut outfit. Should make a character that goes around stealing other people's powers. I thought about that trig actually, because one of my favorite classes in 11 is Blue Mage, and I kind of want to do something with the way Blue Mages learn magic, how they just copy their enemies' moves, and basically I wanted to try to make my own version of a Blue Mage, because I really that's like my favorite class in 11, or sorry, in all Final Fantasy. So yeah, stay tuned. The Shang Tsung, yeah, basically. I might even make a game based around that idea. Like I have an idea for that that I wanted to try doing. I don't know if this actually. I mean, this side looks okay, but this side is a little. I don't know. I feel like I need more light on this side because the sun is on here. So over here. So let me see if I can just somehow try to gradient that. I'm just painting in things now. Can't see anything. The Eternal Champion. Yeah, basically. You know what's funny? Yeah, like some of my ideas came from that series, Eternal Champion, Eternal Champions. Oops, I hit I. What am I doing? Alt, not I. I'm gonna lower that opacity because that's very bright for a sky. The sun is nowhere near this part of the sky, so don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. Yeah, weekly. Yeah, that was my favorite character in Midnight because he's like he has all the macabre things. He's a vampire. Okay, he's half a zombie because his story is he doesn't. And I didn't even finish this. The last time I talked about this was while he was being pursued by the bounty hunters, he wouldn't kill anyone, so his body would rot as a result of not draining people's life energy because he was that type of vampire instead of a blood vampire. So he had his veins were like he was decaying. He had like veins like coming out of his body. His chest was like completely rotted away. You could see his ribs. His hands were bone. His feet were bone. He just looked nasty. He just looked really nasty. But I like that kind of stuff. And he had like he had like these really pinprick red eyes. But yeah, I really like that's like probably my favorite besides Rax. I think that's probably my favorite design in the entire in that out of that whole roster. And I like the whole roster too. I'm like I don't see any like there's no character that I was like oh okay I get with I can vibe with that even the free even like Trident the way they've done Atlanteans is definitely I think well besides the Trident of course because you gotta have a Trident in there somewhere or Poseidon's whatever the heck Trident I guess you gotta have that in some form when you talk about Atlanteans right so um that's he has that but I like his art he's very I'm surprised I didn't make Frog Girl like something like that because that could have worked right he's very amphibious he's like a amphibious type looking character and can't name him someone trident without a trident. Yeah, he has a trident hand, and he does capoeira strangely. I mean, it's like he's nowhere near Brazil. He's fighting Romans, but he knows capoeira, and it's like BC. So it was the way they know like the fact that they know certain martial artists was very historically inaccurate and inconsistent with the time period and in the wrong area, of the world. But it was a martial arts game, so whatever, right? It's like who cares? Just do it. Um, but yeah, Considering she's an amphibian, literally an underwater basket weaving. I don't know. What? I don't get it. I'm just blending in the sky a little bit here, and I'm gonna lower that opacity because it's very bright. I don't lower it too much. I'm gonna blur this background because I'm just really just painting in clouds at this point, and they kind of don't look like clouds all like that. Only a little bit. Like this side is a little weird. It's a little wonky, but this side's okay. I kind of like this. It's very. I think they're too dark though. I think I should probably lighten up some of the darkness in the clouds. Well, I guess they could be storm clouds, right? I didn't want them to be storm clouds, but I guess I could just at this point it doesn't really matter anymore because it kind of look like storm clouds. Okay. Um, Amphibian was to the frog girl comment. Yeah, I thought about it. I thought about making her just an actual frog-like character. I might do it even, but she still needs a story. It ain't gonna be the story that she had before. And the underwater basket weaving comes from a phrase I heard growing up. But to your Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy fighting Romans, yeah, it's capoeira. I don't even. Is that even? No, that's not even. I don't even think that's even jiu-jitsu, is it? I don't think there's. I don't think they're related. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Anyways, yeah, it's and it's funny because the game explains the origin of every martial art that the character does, and it doesn't make sense to the time period that they're from. So it's like, yeah, like they tell you where the martial art came from and all that stuff and why it was, and maybe some background on it. It just doesn't apply to the character at whatsoever. They don't even explain it. They don't explain how they learn it when they're telling you like what happened to the character, their little origin story or whatever. It's like they just know it. And who knows? Maybe I mean, you could explain it away, right? Maybe when the Eternal Champions saves them from their fate that causes them to die, maybe he just teaches them the martial art while they're in the future, waiting to see who's gonna fight for the right to go back and fix their time period, right? Maybe they didn't know it at the time, and maybe now they know it. I don't know. It could be. You could explain it away if you really want to. But my point is, it wasn't explained in the game, so they just uh they just go ahead and just say, yeah, they just know this art. Shut up. Underwater Atlanteans and basket weaving. I doubt it's actually underwater, but if it was, the motion could look like martial arts. Yeah, doing stuff underwater, maybe that'll somehow makes you stronger if you do it, with enough water pressure. I guess I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you could think of something that could kind of make sense. I'm trying to see what color because I want to lighten up that area there. Let me see. Could this work? The way the football guys run with the little parachute. Yeah. Get that little resistance there. Actually, I've actually never seen that because I don't watch I've never watched like a football camp footage or whatever. But it makes sense to me. I know people used to run on sand for that resistance. I'm pretty sure somebody still does that. Make that a little bit lighter. That way it's kind of like dark over here, but kind of light over here. These were supposed to be clouds. uh, I've only seen it at the park just recently. Some guy assumed their father had two high school kids at the park running with a parachute. Well, I hope they make it wherever, whatever they're trying to do. I'm assuming they're at least trying to make it to college football. We don't do things like that just for fun. I'm assuming they're trying to make a career out of it. it's a long shot, but you never know. They might be looking at the next football stars, at least for college, right? I've seen it in movies. Otherwise, yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember if I ever seen that. To be honest, running with parachutes, it's pretty hardcore. I would just do like just run uphill. You know, that's the same thing. You could run uphill. That's what we used to do anyway. Just run uphill, sprint, sprint uphill, sprint downhill. Remember one time we were sprinting? There was a beehive. There was a beehive nearby, and it must have been really close because they weren't like full blown stings, but you can feel you're being like stung or bitten or something. I don't know. It must have been really close. Like I was running, we were running down this hill in Washington, and I just start feeling these pins just hitting us. I couldn't even see the bees or hornets or whatever the heck they were, and I'm like, oh, and I literally just okay, put everything into sprint right now and just took off for like an extra half mile until I didn't feel anything anymore. Yeah, 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 Trig. It was we were just we ran a lot, and I was in my unit then, and for physical training, we used to run like 3 or 4 times a week, and we've run this hill before. It's a pretty steep hill. It's just this time there was a nest near it or something. So, it wasn't there before. We and it left no marks. It was no marks, no bumps, nothing. But it was definitely something going on. I think I might have messed up a little bit here. I think it's a little too blue. Sorry about that. Gotta go back. For miles, yeah. The longest we've run was 11 and a half miles, but that was um that was because somebody went to a club, was underage, gave their actual ID, and then ran. They were like, hey, let me see your ID. They gave him the ID and then they ran. And then the bouncer just called the unit and said, one of your guys did this. And then as punishment, we all had to run 11.5 miles because of one guy. And that was it was like it took about 3 hours. We were running fast. It was 3 hours of just running as fast as you can. We had to keep up with the commander. It's our captain. He's if you have 4 platoons, that makes up a company. Uh and he would be in charge of that company, those 4 platoons plus headquarters. So I guess we have 5 companies. Um yeah, he was like, he's like, okay, we're gonna run now. And he was like a former ranger or whatever, and all they did apparently was run. So that's what we did that day, and we basically just had to keep up with him. And he ran for 3.5 hours. I had salt collecting on my skin. Names of units. Yeah, if you have you have a let's see, you have team. It's like 4 or 5 guys. Then you have squad, which is like 2 teams, and then you have a platoon, which is like 4 squads, and then you have a company, which is like 4 or 5 platoons, depending on how many people you have assigned to the unit. And then from company, you have battalion and battalion, division, and it's the same amount, but just larger and larger and larger until you have an entire army. SEAL Team 6. That is something completely different. But yeah, so like ounces, yeah, ounces, liters, and yeah, all that. Yep, basically, it's like that. And it's just something that you understand. It's like, okay, we didn't do anything, so it's not like our platoon um sergeant or platoon leader is gonna yell at us. We're just all in it now. We're just all right, we gotta run, just whatever. I don't even remember who did that. Some dummy, some idiot did that. It was this isn't the right color. I need something darker than this. Oops. All right, we're gonna wing it now. I'm just gonna take it down to about right there. At least he ran with it. Yeah, I mean, how you gonna know that we did it? You know, you could just go somewhere and just chill out. Some he always ran with us. He we did like company runs like at least once or twice a week. He would run because he was like he was very big on cardio, which is a good thing actually. But he went a little crazy with it. I think one time we ran with gas masks on. That is not easy to do. Or we would run with all the equipment, which is also not easy. But you know, I can see the reasoning behind that. You know, you might actually have to do that. But yeah, it was something, and it's very tough. It can be very tough if say like that's around normal elevation, right? When I went to Colorado, which is about I don't know 6, 7, 8 thousand meters or was it miles? Yeah, miles above sea level. It's a very high elevation. Running there is brutal when you're not used to it, man. I always felt like I was out of shape or out of breath, and yeah, I did not enjoy running in Colorado at all. But if we go to another state like Louisiana, which is a little bit closer to sea level, and you suddenly you can run forever. He's like you got all the. It's like it was kind of like having like a superpower. If you run long enough in a high elevation, you go to low elevation and run. Even if you haven't run in like weeks or maybe months, it's completely like effortless. It's like you're just jogging the entire time. It feels very great to do that. Wasn't didn't get very hot in Washington State. It's very rain. It's a very rainy state. Cool, very cool. It doesn't get super hot there, so that was very good. But it rains for most of the year. It's a very apparently it's a very depressing state for some, and it has a very high suicide rate, probably because of the weather. I don't know. Either that or that and Texas apparently had at the time had very high rates of that. Next to water too, yeah. Very clear air, cool, clean air. At least at the time. Apparently, Seattle has smog like LA. I've never seen it ever in my life, but apparently it could get very smoggy there. But coming here and then going there, you can tell the air quality difference like right away. Oh, we're not gonna do that. I tell you what I will do though. I'm gonna put like a little bit of clouds down here. But yeah, you know that was my whole thing with OCs and whatnot. Just they started off as rip-offs and I slowly change them over time until they're original characters. Like better air or worse? Better there than here. Here you can tell it's like oh man, I'm in the city. I guess you know it feels thicker. But there, even like on a hot day, it's like you can feel like even if it's hot, you can feel the coolness in the hot because you have ice caps nearby. You know Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens, and you got you know of course the sea. It's a I like that. I actually like that state. I actually I don't know how it is now. I have no idea how it is now, but back then it was a pretty nice place to live. Fortunately, I had to leave. I got orders when I was overseas that I was not going to be staying in that place. I was going to Colorado, and so I didn't get to stay there for my entire military career. But Colorado was okay too for in its own way. I enjoyed being there, just not as much as I don't know. Maybe it's because I was in Washington for 3 years, and I was only in Colorado for what 1.5, 2. But it was very interesting. The weather is a little bit more random though. We had every bit of weather you could possibly have in like the span of a week. It got very hot, it was rainy, then it was windy and cold, then it was a blizzard, and then it was warm again, all in one week. It was very jarring to to have a different weather pattern as you every time you step outside from wherever you live at. Almost like a video game. It's like, oh, no, it's snowing. Hey, it's raining now. You're like, what the hell? Yeah, it was very jarring. Mad random, mad random. Yeah, SimCity. I've never played SimCity, but I played The Sims. I guess that's similar in that way where you can have. Well, no, Sims follow seasons actually, so maybe not so much. Yeah, yeah, similar. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah. You got it. I should set up a bell, some bells and whistles for puns like that. I'm just making the mountains darker. I'm not. Yeah, I guess that'll work. Kind of fits with the light. Maybe I don't know. I'm just gonna doing it. I'm probably just gonna, like I said, I'm thinking I'm just gonna blur this anyway because it's a very rough background. But I definitely have to. I'm definitely going to be making better backgrounds than this in the webcomic. I kind of just did this as an afterthought. It's normally when I do practice stuff, I don't add a background unless I'm trying to see how the art style would look in a full environment. I did this once before, trying to design like how the webcomic was going to look, but it was a more of an indoor thing. I think, and there was that background significantly more than this. I think the backgrounds in the webcomic will look more like the one that I did a few years ago. So every page of the webcomic will look like this picture. Yes, that is the goal, and I am almost 100% sure that I can pull it off. So maybe not the background. Like I don't want to do like it's very loose, and I guess I could do it. I could, if the background really doesn't matter. But no, I'm gonna do better backgrounds in the webcomic than the picture. I kind of just I sketched the background and I immediately started coloring it, just because I was going to blur the background anyway for this. But the sharpness that the foreground this person has here is pretty much how it's gonna look. It was the kind of the reason why I did this picture. I just wanted to see like if I could like if like how the art would look. I haven't done a piece like this in a minute. Like it's been mostly channel art and mesh and 3D meshes that I've done, and it was mostly 3D meshes before I decided to start streaming again. Like I only did like my digital art was only the channel art so far. Actually, no. When I did a mesh, I designed some tattoos for a mesh as practice because I wanted to see if I could do that because I have some characters that have tattoos, and I was like, well, how do you do a tattoo in a 3D mesh? And then I looked into it and I was like, okay, I can just make a PNG and then just use it as a texture and then just paste that on wherever. And I can do a sleeve, I can do like a full body tattoos and have it wrap around the body. So I figured out how to do that just in case. I guess it's okay. It's a very rough background, but it's all right. It serves its purpose for now. I just need when I do the light, I'm gonna put the light in. Okay, back to the person now. That's secondary light. That's primary. Let me put 2 down here. So that way I know that this is where I need to be. We're done with light 1 though, I believe. I think let's see. Do I want to do I don't think I'm gonna do anything more to the to the foreground or the background here. Maybe the leaves. We're getting to the point now where this is like where I feel like I'm just looking for stuff to do at this point, and it feels like I'm drawing this out. I'm not really. I'm just trying to. This is good for figuring out the process behind making a panel. So I was like, okay, even though this is not how like I said, I want to do backgrounds better than this, but as far as the person is concerned, I pretty much have what I want. So 35. Okay, so we're gonna do 40 here. And I'm gonna go back to the skin. It's like one of the first things I learned how to do in digital art was how to try to paint flesh. So I think maybe it's probably the thing that I'm pretty good at when it comes to art. Well, I mean, at least it works for me anyway. I don't know. Oh, right. I think does that work? And you know what? Let me undo that. Change my brush a little bit. I'm gonna do Western style panels. It's not gonna be like a full blown like one panel pages like a webtoon. I don't want to do it like that. I want to try to do it like a traditional Western comic book. I don't see myself as a mangaka, so we won't do it in that style. And plus, it's not really an anime style, so not that it has to be, but I just don't see. I just that's just not the vision I have for this comic. I think maybe one day I'll do something manga inspired, even if it's just like a picture, like a style. I always wanted to try to make an anime style. I don't know what I would do with it, but it's an interest. I haven't drawn anime since 1998 though, so that's gonna be something. Okay, and I'm going to add another shade of light here in the light area. And then from there it's just highlights. And I guess besides some touch ups here and there, it's pretty much done. I'll probably do that part off stream and start something else though, because now we're just we're basically just being a dead horse at this point. I think when I have a more clear view of what I want as far as this is concerned, I'll probably just the next time I do something like this, I'll probably go into more detail about it. I kind of just did this just to do it while I'm working on my mesh here. I'm thinking of just getting an idea down of how I want to do clothes for mesh, and then just like, well, I first wanted to work on a method of doing clothes and then just do it again on stream. But also I was thinking of, okay, just do it, like learn how to do it off stream and then do it on the next mesh. So I'm kind of playing with that idea. I'm not really sure yet exactly what I want with that, but if I can help it, I'm going to try to do or finish the mesh that I'm been working on this stream. Hopefully, we'll see. It doesn't hurt. Like I don't mind doing things like practicing something off stream and then just doing it again on stream, just so the stream is a little more smoother and in content. Unless you want to see me struggle with 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 doing things on stream, I don't think people would be interested in seeing that. But maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. And sometimes when I'm trying to figure something out and I can't get it right, I'm gonna spend like a lot of time on it. That might not be an interesting thing to watch. I'd rather have a structure. So I'm just gonna add this color here. I'm thinking more of the nose here, the nasolabial fold underneath the nose here. Oh yeah, in this part. But I guess you can put I can put highlights there. And then the chin, the cheek, the neck, and down here on her chest here. And then the gold. I should have the time to do all of that right here on the stream, so we're going to do what we can do here. Oh yeah, and the eyes. Got to do the eyes too. I'm just blending in colors a little bit. I guess it sort of looks brighter. Looks like there's actual the light is actually lighting her side of the face there. I just have to add that light into the environment as well. But I might just skip that, to be honest. Okay. I'm starting to I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm kind of done with this picture. I kind of just want to move on, right? But no, we don't want to do that. I want to try to get everything done while I'm still here. See, it's like this part of the picture is where I'm starting to like see like, okay, I need to basically just land the plane here, adding things here and there. I'm almost certain I can do this in like one single day. I've done it once before when I was toying with the idea of making a webcomic. I did a picture in one day, and it wasn't too far from this. This is probably a lot sharper than that picture, but I think this looks better in every way. But I think I can still do it in one day, even though I'm like I'm think I'm past as far as stream time with this picture. I'm think I'm past a day now of total drawing time, but I can do it faster than that. I think the fastest time I completed a picture was like 8 hours. I know I can do it within a day. I haven't done it yet on like using this method of drawing, but I'm confident that I can do it. Like I said, I want to try to do daily uploads if I can help it. If I can do a page like on stream, at least start a page on stream, and then after stream finish it up and then post it, that would be great. I have a lot of patience though. If I do it weekly, it's gonna like I'm gonna be working on the volume one for a long time. But if I have a buffer, I can start writing volume two, and I want to try to do that too. I want to try to make a buffer to where I can. So even if I do it daily, I might still do like if even if I do manage to do a page daily, I want to do I might just do bi-weekly or weekly uploads just so if I want to take a break from doing a page and draw something else on stream or just take a break from art in general or write, focus on doing the story, I can do that. I'm toying with that idea too. But I definitely want to try to do at least complete a page in a day, even if I don't upload it. I have the option to upload it if I want. It's like, oh yeah, I want to take a week off, and then I can still keep up with the pages. I want to do the entire prologue as a that way when people click on the webcomic, they have the entire prologue to read through. And then if they decide if they want to follow the comic, then they can choose right then and there, and then it'll be the uploads after that will be bi-weekly, and I'll have the buffer. That's the goal anyway. I don't know, that's what I really want to do. I want to try to do that. I'm gonna try to get that done. Okay, I'm gonna do the eyes. I don't think there's much here that I can add. Maybe just a little bit gold here. I'm gonna keep the shadow in the well, there should be a shadow here, and I guess that's what the black line is covering where the shadow would be. So I'm gonna leave that alone. There should be more shadow right underneath. Maybe you know what? Let me put that color a little bit closer to the pupil here. Just go a little bit right there. Hopefully that gradient from light to dark, we can get that on the gold here, make it look more like gold. At least that's the hope. I think I need to do it away from the lightest part because this is more of a saturated color, I think. So we're going to do that. I'm not going to use the eye, though. I'm going to use the chains gold and not the eye gold because they're actually two different shades. I don't want to mess it up. It doesn't look any different. I may have to paint over this. No, I think it'll be all right. Maybe. I have to see when I add the highlight. Try this. Just trying to make it look more like a gold material. That's something I need to work on. It's a little too dull, but I don't have the highlights in yet, so it's just look right now it looks dull. And I've done it before. I think I can pull it off, but yeah, that's all right. I don't know. Still, I need to put the highlights in before I can see if it's gold or not. I should just do that. I'll leave that alone since that's in the dark. Though in my gold necklace reference, you can see some of that shine even in the shadow too. It's not as shiny, but it's there. It's very, very shiny metal, very shiny surface. So I'm going to paint in some this. Trying to get it nice and shiny there. I'm just painting it in this point. I'm not gonna go like super into it. Because like I said, this is gonna get resized. So some of those little things go in here, like little things right here. You're not gonna be able to, probably not gonna be able to see that. That's something I don't want to do in the webcomic though. I want to try to. I should be doing this in practice, but I mean, you can't see that from there. You're not gonna be. No one's gonna be zooming all the way into the page unless they're looking for something to critique. I've always admired the shiny metal, like from X-Men when they make Colossus skin, or the one iconic picture of maybe of Magneto with the hand up. Oh yeah, that's Jim Lee. Yeah, he's like like that. Yeah. That is straight from X-Men #1, and they reused that picture a lot. Like it's in the X-Men Genesis game. That's ripped right out of the comic. That picture. Uh, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna color over that because it's a little too brown for gold. So I'm gonna color over that a little bit. Now we're just painting outside the lines because I'm painting all the way back here. We don't want to get too lazy. No, we don't want to do that. Let's go all the way in a little bit. I'm gonna blend all this stuff in better before because I'm gonna post this up somewhere. I'm gonna blend all this stuff in before I do that, so it's not extra sloppy. It's a little, it's minimally rough, but we want to have. I don't want to have any. I don't want to have. I want to have little to no roughness when I do a web comic page. Make it all nice and sharp. For the most part, it looks okay. I think it's fine. Colossus has that chrome looking color. I mean, I remember when people were like really enjoying that like chrome, like painting their bikes in chrome, like with chrome spray paint. It was like a little trend that people were doing back in the '90s. It's like everything has to be chrome now. I don't know how or why that started, but I remember people were really into that for a while. Just chrome, just customizing the bike to your liking. You fit every part. You get all these custom parts because of big timers in the '90s. Were they around in the '90s? Big timers. I remember in the early 2000s, but the '90s, Lil Wayne and them always riding on rims. No, I'm talking about the '90s though. Like they weren't like I mean, yeah, Lil Wayne was in the '90s. I don't remember big timers, but that was when he was still a part of the Hot Boys, the Hot Boys, as they called themselves. And he was just a member of that. Yeah, okay, they were 2000. Yeah, I'm talking about before then. Before then, like 98, 97, people were like really into the chrome. And maybe it was from music. I don't know. I have no idea. I just remember people being into that. But some of the people that were doing this, I did not see them as like big fans of rap and hip hop, and then plus they were from different cultures too and races. So I don't know. Maybe it was like a local thing. Rap always had Flash as part of yeah. Big Timers were 1998. They came out in 1998. They're okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I honestly didn't. I thought like with the whole what was it? Still Fly. That was when I was in high school. Um, they were doing that song, and that was a thing for a while. Yeah, basically just need to put the highlights in the necklace, and that should shine it up real nice. Uh, there's really not much left. There's really not much left. I don't think you might not be seeing this picture next week. You might be seeing something else if I can't get the mesh ready to go. I do see the difference though, so that's good. It doesn't look like there's a difference when it's there, but when you compare it, when you have something to compare it to, yes, it's brighter. Or the Indie Dubai where you wrap up a whole damn Lambo in gold, Louis Vuitton print. Those guys beat the game. I mean, yeah, if you're into that stuff, I would that. I mean, yeah, it's great. And when I play Grand Theft Auto, I do things like that. I don't think I would do that in real life though. I would just have normal stuff in real life. The most I would probably have like is like a watch. I do like watches, but I'm not like a necklace person or piercings or anything like that. I do like watches. I might have like one watch and that's it, maybe two. I'm just call it like that. Like I'm not really big on jewelry. Jewelry is fine for like art. I'll do that, or for like it's like a if you have a girlfriend or something, yeah. But For me, no, no, I don't need any jewelry. I'm good. I'd be afraid to mess the car up. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like I don't even want that kind of attention. I'm good. I'm cool. You know, I like you know I make ballervania in video games, but I wouldn't be a baller in real life. It's just you know, I mean, yeah, yeah, I don't think I would do it. It's just not. I don't know. It's not who I am. I feel like I'd be faking a funk if I did that. Like maybe like some okay, maybe some nice clothes, but not like nothing flashy. I wouldn't do anything like that. I imagine if you have all the time, you wouldn't have that mentality. If you had that all the time, you don't have that mentality. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't even. I don't know. I wouldn't even get it in the first place. If you have the gold Lambo, you don't have the mentality of someone without one. Yeah, you do. I think I actually disagree with that. I think they are the people who don't have that type of stuff, and they got it, and now that they got it, they you know they want to get the flashy stuff. I think if you never cared about money, even if you have whether you have it or not, if you never really cared about that stuff, you're not going to start if you suddenly have a huge windfall, right? At least that's how I see it. I don't know. Like if I became a millionaire today, I'm not gonna go out and like trick out a vehicle or something. I might buy a nice I might buy a new car, but I'm not gonna it's not gonna be something like crazy. I feel like people who aren't used to having money are the types of people who do exactly that, have get gold Lambos and and things like that. You know, you have a lot of young people who are fresh out of high school who suddenly become superstar athletes and they have zero guidance. Those are the type of things that you're going to see. But I was always a big saver, even as a kid. Like I saved all of my money. I ended up giving it to my family, of course. But I always kept like a stash of money, and I don't normally uh waste all of my money on stupid stuff. So if I suddenly had the money to do that, it would be stuff with, like I'd probably like try to build the best computer I possibly have, but that you had some utility at least, right? You gonna get a Subaru? No, I'm not gonna get a Subaru. I waste my wasting money if that makes sense. Yeah, you have you got some walking around money, you know. But if anything, I just give that to my family or something. It's just like, hey, yeah, here. Oh, you want that? Here, take it or something like that. But I would just probably just buy like I would try to make it like a super workstation or something, or something that just isn't completely that won't deprecate. Well, I guess a computer doesn't really last, but it still has function, right? It'll last a few years. Something I can buy and actually have it get a use for, instead of having like somebody sideswipe of my brand new car outside. I wouldn't be around here. I tell you that right now. People do not know how to drive around. Woo! I don't know how they got their license, man. I'm surprised I've kept my car in such good condition over the years with the way people drive around here. All of a sudden, I got 90 some cousins. Yeah, don't. Yeah, I don't play that. Don't come to me, yo. If you weren't in my circle now, don't come later. Please don't, because you're gonna get embarrassed. I'm not gonna help you at all. I'm not that type of person. Do not. Let me see. But that's neither here nor there. I don't really think about like, oh, gotta get rich quick. I'm not, like I said, I've never really been worried about money. It's not my thing, and I always have money. I'm pretty good with money, so I don't have to worry about money. Uh, at least I think I'm pretty good with money. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Could be everybody can, can always do better. Uh, what the hell is this? What did I click? Oh, I drew on my. Why is the color changing back? What the heck is going on here? Hang on, having a little bit of a problem here with my palette. Okay, you son of a, you son of a. You see that? This is what's happening right now. Am I clicking something? Am I leaning on something? What is this? Is my controller taking over the controls here? My game controller? Because I have that plugged in. I have like two different ones plugged in. Welcome back, 99. Trying to figure out what the heck is going on here. This is the problem I'm currently having. I don't know why this is happening. I'm trying to figure out why. Okay. I want the lip color, but then it goes immediately back to gray. And I'm trying to figure out why. Nothing is on my analog buttons on my controller. Hang on, let me cancel this. Let me just cancel this right now and click save. Okay, I already saved it, I guess. Wait, why is save grayed? Oh, save was not grayed out. Wow, I looked grayed out at first. They're trying to trick me. They're trying to take me out. I don't know who they are, but they're trying. They're trying to take me down. What is this? Is it a button? There's no button stuck. Nothing is. I don't get it. We were talking about frivolous purchases earlier. Gold Lambos and such. Okay, so I can pick a color. I just can't use my palette for some reason. I'm not sure why. It's my palette that's the problem. Whoa, what was that? It just, you see that Z? It just Z'd out my picture there. What is happening? See that? Why is this happening? What's going on here? Hold on. Hang on a second. Hang on. I'm gonna restart the program real quick. Okay. This is something. Let me restart the program really fast. I think we're having some technical difficulties that I have unforeseen. That I have not foreseen. I still have one of my naked meshes in the recent files, and I don't want to show that on Twitch. So we're going to do. Did I cause this with my return? No, this has happened in the past minute, right before you came back. Um, and that's why I want to not show that on stream right now because I don't want to get in trouble with Twitch. With Twitch, I have some references that are not safe. Okay, we're good. Wow, I don't know what happened there. All right, we're good. It works. I don't know. I guess the program was just bugging out for some reason. Zing out. It was, see those Z's. It was drawing. It just happened. I don't know why that did. I don't know why it happened, but it just happened anyways. Gonna look into that. I like the brushes in Photoshop here, so that's why if you didn't notice, I started this in Clip Studio. I feel like I can do lines. I like the brushes, the line brushes in Clip Studio better than this, and then I like the coloring brushes in this better than Clip Studio. So I do the line art in Clip Studio, and then I come over to Photoshop and then do the color and the grayscale here. In case you didn't notice, that's what I did. I mean, obviously, I mean, it's a very different layout, you know, between the two characters. That's all I wanted to do. Didn't even. There's really not much difference that added. They wouldn't even let me do that. Okay, you know, I'm just gonna go on ahead and just put the while we still have time, put the highlights in now because this is pretty much done. There's really no point in continuing this any further. I think the next time I do a digital art piece like this, um, we're going to try to make the process a little bit quicker on stream. I'm still getting used to drawing on stream and talking, carrying a conversation, but when I'm completely zeroed in and focused, I just blow through these drawings like this. I think this has been like a 24-hour project because I did it on stream in 2 or 3 hour increments and was not drawing the entire time, admittedly, but we'll get better at it. I think. Still pretty new to the streaming thing, I guess. You know, I've streamed before in the past, but I didn't have a cam or or in some cases a mic. I just turned it on and streamed it. You know, people watched and even followed, so thought it was okay. I thought it was okay to do. You know, but you know, I was like, okay, maybe this time we'll put a little bit more effort into it. Um, feel that even gaming and talking splits my mind too much. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting better at it though. I feel like I'm getting better at it. Like I'm very surprised that the streams have gone this smoothly. Besides the small technical hiccups that we've had with when Twitch decides to kill the feed for a couple of times, and I gotta go and take all the VODs and edit them all together so I can put them in the archive. That makes the process super long. I'd rather just download the thing and just put it on YouTube. By the way, those of you who are watching on YouTube, thank you so much. I know it's this very not focused streams here, but hopefully in the future, maybe I would say maybe sometime during or after the summer, we'll have a bit better structure, longer start to finish freaking streams in one day, and keep really blow through this stuff. So I have a lot of things that I like drawing, a lot of different ideas and stuff like that, and it doesn't not normally take me this long to do it. Like I said, I messed the grayscale up the one day. If any of you saw that, and I actually deleted all the grayscale and did it over like right like before the next stream I did, and I did it all in one day in the evening. I was like, okay, I tried to fix it, but I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just do it over again. I just did it all, and I literally caught myself back up. So I did two pictures. And that's like the equivalent of two pictures in one day. So that's why I feel like I'm confident enough to know that I can uh do a panel or page in a day. Once you get affiliate, you will have more bandwidth. Oh, that's great. Just got to get there. I think I don't know. I feel like it's because I get up early and I stream, and half of this country is still asleep at the time. I feel like if I changed my time around and streamed in the evening, more people would see it. But like I said, this was more for just documenting the progress of my webcomic more than trying to build an audience. I mean, even though I'm grateful to those who've come and followed since I've started this streaming, and those who subscribe on Twitch, who are also very great artists. There's a lot of artists there. I guess um, look for other artists. They're all great. I appreciate their art, and I follow some of them too. Back. I'm glad that you all like my art so far. I hope you like web comics because that's what I'm doing. Now this is a little bright. I've been posting for him. I have to get some promos made for him. Time is a thing, but promotion is key. Yeah, lots of promotion. I'm saving all that for the webcomic. Once the webcomic is closer to being out, I'm gonna start promoting it. And Right now, this is more just like for fun. I just want to get the webcomic out there. It's all for the webcomic. Get a nice webcomic story going. You know, if you're bored, you want to read something that's a little different from the norm of today's webcomics. I know there's a lot of trends out there. I don't think I'm following them currently, but that's not the point. I just wanted a story. I wanted to tell a story, and this is the story that I have here. Hopefully, you like it. I'm gonna keep doing it regardless. I don't. I just like I said, I just want to get the story out there in a tangible form because I've been sitting on it for so long, not doing anything with it. And I'm gonna do some animation as well. And you might see some little bit of dabbling in animation in the channel art here and there. But I want to do something a little more in depth in the future. I think this is too yellow. Maybe I should not use vivid light for the highlight because we already have white for the highlight there. Um, what am I? Where am we at? I'm not even on vivid light, am I? I wasn't. Oh, I know what I did. I control Z'd it. Sorry. Uh, good thing overlay. I guess I'll just do screen again. Let me see. No, we're gonna have to use a lighter thing. Wait, this is an art channel. I was waiting for gaming. It's coming. It's coming. It's a variety of arts. Okay, I'm just shaking my monitor. I'm sorry. It looked like it was gonna track my head. Um, sometimes it just decides that it wants to attract my yeah, it's coming. It's coming. It's not just art. Like I wanted it to be predominantly art, but there will be a time when I come back in the evening when the day is over and we play a game or two. Since I do that already, I think you already know this. 99. I already said that was when before I even started. That was what I was gonna do. I was gonna do art in the morning, and then like maybe stream a game or two in the evening. One day, maybe I'll do it all at once. Do art and then go immediately go into a game after. That's gonna be a little tough, but I think I could pull it off because sometimes I do that. Like when I'm just sitting here at home, I can pull that off. But I have some free time, might do that. If I don't draw all day, that's another thing that I want to try to do on stream. Just do like a 1 day of art stream, just stream art the whole time. But with that amount of time, I would have to probably speak less so I could get the art done in that day. Yeah, I'm waiting for them. Yes, it's coming. It's coming. I promise. Most likely later this month. I'm gonna try to get it done. I'm gonna start streaming games this month, and then you can see, all the Ballervanias from my perspective. You can see me tackle whatever threats that try to take down myself and whatever the heck I'm doing. I don't even know where I'm going with that, but combat any and all threats that come to my virtual person. It's weird because this is normally where you would highlight something as like that little ridge above your lip always reflects light this way. But every time I do it, I just think milk mustache. I'm moving to Fridays in a couple of weeks. Tomorrow I'll be streaming if I have time. Okay, so you're still streaming today, right? You said yesterday you were going to stream Hades today. Are you still doing that? I have not been streaming on Fridays, but it is. I did I was going to do 4 days, but I have not been doing 4 days because I have to do some refresher 3D mesh stuff for stream. So when I if I maybe when I go back to sculpting another character, I can do I can start doing Fridays again because I already know what to do there. But once I get to the point where I can when I have all this stuff in my head, I have a good workflow down, then I'll probably that won't be an issue anymore. I'll just go through it. You'll probably see the entire process. Maybe even me copying and pasting the polygons over and over again. If I can do it fast enough, I'll do it in the stream. But it's been really it's very mind numbing right now and slow because I'm still trying to work out how I'm gonna do it. So I decided to just take that off stream for now. But eventually I am gonna show the entire process and hopefully everything will be a lot smoother. That's gonna be tomorrow if I have time. Plans change today. Okay, gotcha. Okay, okay, I guess I'm gonna make it the same over here. What? Why are we having like late after effects brush strokes here? I hate when the program does that. Every now and then, okay, now it's fine. But when I did that, it didn't put the color in until I lifted the pen up, and I don't know why that happens. It just happens sometimes. Skin is very shiny. It's supposed to be. Oh, we better lower the brush size. Get the whole thing. It's the shiniest part of the skin, so you don't want to blend it in too much. And it looks a little better, no, less shiny. I don't imagine this being like a super hot day. Of course, she has a leather jacket on. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Definitely gonna put the games in the Grames. I don't know why I said Grames. I'm sorry. I'm basically just gonna go through my entire backlog at the start. Some stuff that I've been planning on playing but never got around to. I was like, well, okay, at this point I can just stream it. So I have that, I have no shortage of games to play. You know, but for art streams, I definitely want to have projects ready in case things fall through. I'm like, oh man, okay, I can't do this right now. I can just do this and I'll just put it on, draw it. What's first? You already said that it's Heart of Darkness, so we're gonna go with that. Sorry, not Heart of Darkness. Shadow Hearts. I'm sorry. Heart of Darkness is a whole other thing, but I do want to play that eventually. Shadow Hearts. That's the RPG, right? Yeah, Shadow Hearts. That's what you wanted to see. That's what we're going to see. It was going to be Zelda, but we can probably do that after, right? We're going to go through all the Shadow Hearts games and Koldelka. Yeah, Koldelka. I got to check and see if I have that yet. We're going to definitely get that. It's all coming. I've never played Shadow Hearts. I always heard good things about it though. So I had it beforehand, but um yeah, just we never got around to playing it. Definitely going to play it though. That's a Shadow Hearts game, but I recommend that between 2 and 3. Gotcha. Okay, so we'll do 1, 2, Koldelka, and then 3. Shadow Hearts is one of my top 5. All right. We're going in blind on this. We're gonna go in blind and we're going to see if Ace here can, I don't know what they're trying to do in Shadow Hearts. Take down the Shadow Heart. I don't know. See if I have the Shadow Heart. Am I the Shadow Heart? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if I'm the Shadow Heart or not. I don't know what Shadow Hearts means in the context of the game, but we're gonna find out. Goldelka's before Shadow Hearts 1, but I can't recommend it. Okay. Yeah, Realness was asking me if I'll even do Goldelka. I said sure, why not? I don't have any skin in the game. Say Shadow Heart one more damn time. Shadow Hearts. uh, Shadow Hearts means nothing and doesn't come up. Just the title. Okay. You never know. Sometimes, it's the name drop. They said the thing, that whole thing. What are we, some kind of Shadow Hearts? Damn, like, you know, I had to do it. I just had to do it. Okay. What's time we got? Okay, we're still going. We're still going. We're gonna be done with the highlights today. Like the highlights, the darkest darks and the lightest lights are like the smallest areas in every picture. There's really not much to do here except maybe just clean it up. And I'm not gonna do another stream of that. As far as the background is concerned, yeah, I'll probably work on that off stream. But this is pretty much done, man. I really don't like nickel and diamond pieces like this. There's a point where even though I like the way this turned out for the most part, it's time to sometimes it's just time to move on. So what I'm going to do in the next 4 days, because I'm going to come back on Monday. We're not going to do a Friday stream this Friday. Oh wait, what? 99. When you asked me, did you want me to do a Friday stream? Is that why you asked me, or was it because you just wanted to coordinate and not overlap with mine? Because that's fine too. It's like I'm surprised you even check with me with it. I didn't. It didn't matter to me. I don't really mind at all. I could just raid to you if it was a big deal. Not to overlap. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, yeah. It didn't. It wouldn't have bothered me. I would have just ended up rating my channel to yours when I was done anyway. So, um, but yeah, do appreciate it though. That's you didn't have to do that though. It was okay. I'm not. That's not something that would bother me. Um, yeah, but you won't have to worry about that this Friday. I'm not going to do another Friday stream yet, but eventually, I guess. But in the next 4 days, I'm going to try to get the mesh ready, and if I can't, I'm going to have a backup digital piece ready. Okay, and it's going to be. I don't want to make that strong since it's on that side. The OC that I was telling you about earlier, Dread, will most likely be the next piece that I do. And I'm going to think of an idea. It's a very macabre, horror esque. It's not going to be it's not going to be the same as what it was in the '90s. I want to try to do a story with him that's more of like a psychological horror, kind of like in the sense of Jacob's Ladder, but with more action. Something like that. I'm thinking of something like that. Like I want to do a story like that with that character, and maybe like if you took Jacob's Ladder and James Bond and he mixed them together. I think that is like the best uh way to describe the tone of what I want to do with this revision of the original story that I did in elementary school and high school. And it's not gonna have that '90s dark and edgy feel to it anymore. It's gonna be more of like a serious story. So I want to try to see if I can pull that off. Even though I consider myself a fan of horror, it's not something that I study and analyze. So I got my work cut out for me. But we're going to be going like real deep into that, okay? And finding out if I have what it takes to sell you, and it's not going to be for sale. I'm just saying to sell to an audience a horror story that they would enjoy. So we'll see about that. Mixing horror and action is kind of tricky because um, there are a lot of movies that have done it in the past. They end up just being action movies, right? At the end of the day, it's like Aliens or Terminator. It was, they start off as horror, like sci-fi horror, and then the second movie becomes action, and it becomes more successful. And I don't know if it's because of the time period or the genre or a combination of both, but I'm going to try my best to keep the horror in and be it being more predominant over the action part. Okay, and I'm going to be trying to study uh, how to write horror properly because I've never written anything horror. And like I said, this horror esque character, was always meant to be an action type thing. So it'd be quite a challenge for amateur writer such as myself. But we're going to give it a shot, and you're going to see that most likely you're going to see that that character sometime next week. We're not going to do this again. This is enough. This is enough. I feel like I am really overdoing this now. Where is my cursor? I can see it. Okay, there it is. I saw it move. I've lost track of it. It's very small cursor. Sometimes you're like, oh, where is it? And you can't see it for a while, and then it comes back. Have you ever done that? Is that just a me thing? Okay, so yeah, I mean, there's really not much to for highlights there. You just do those little bit of highlights, and that's. I do that all the time. Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure. Yeah, it's really very small areas that require actual highlight. If you're not like, if you don't have like a helicopter light shining on your character, you're gonna have. It's basically gonna be two tones, right? You know. But yeah, it's not a lot. Now we're gonna add the highlights in the necklace. I'm looking at a reference now for the necklace just to see if I can get the gold shine to shine the way I want it to. Make it nice and shiny. Um, it's a little weird for a chain link. It could be I am not doing it right, but we'll see. Sometimes it's on the other screen. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes like you can see it now, but sometimes it becomes invisible, and you're like, oh, where is it? And then you have to click on the screen, and usually it's right on the picture. And I'm using Clipping Mask now, so I'm lucky, but um, usually I end up marking the picture trying to find my cursor and have to undo what I did. I'm gonna blend that out into the color some more. I'm just putting in the highlights so we can see if there's we can nail the gold look. Now it's starting to look more metallic. I grabbed the wrong mouse. I have them right next to each other. See, I can click out here and not draw on the background, but if I click anywhere on the person, that's a mark that I don't want. Okay, it looks a little bit more shiny, I guess. This is pretty much, yeah, okay. We'll just have to blend it in a little better, but it's starting to look more like gold. Okay, I think as far as the hatching is concerned, we'll leave it like this, but the next time I do it, I want to make the lines a little straighter. There's some little bit like right here where I kind of phoned it in a little bit and didn't notice. I'll have to zoom in on that and really get that going. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that into in the art for the webcomic. It won't be in everything, I think. I'm gonna try to do different types of styles for drawing when I draw, if it's not webcomic related, but definitely for animation. I'm not gonna put any hatching in the animation. You know how long that will take, and especially if I like animate someone like moving, like something really dynamic other than a walk cycle. Trying to, I don't. Can you even hatch an animation? Has anyone ever even done that? Maybe Aeon Flux. I kind of remember something like that. I could be wrong though. I haven't seen Aeon Flux in like a long time. It's been over a decade now. But maybe they had like very minor hatching. Watch Arcane. Okay. Yes, Arcane did it. Oh, okay. Is it by hand? Because it would be easy to do hatching if you did it like with 3D, right? You can just tell the program to just keep hatching and make it make sense. But yeah, I'll watch it. That's the League of Legends one, right? Arcane. We're gonna blend that a little better. When's Arcane 2 coming? It's digital, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I figured. They have hatching and paint strokes as part of the coloring. Oh, okay. So it's like Yoshi's story, right? Or something like that. Isn't that what they had like in the background with the coloring, like a coloring book type deal? Arcane Toon is this August. Oh, you're just in time. It's the League of Legends show. It's so good. Nah, not like this. Okay, because Yoshi's Island has like the coloring, like you took the it has like that almost like that charcoal texture, like when you take a crayon and you turn it sideways and try to color it that way, and it gives that little texture, that little charcoaly texture. It looks like the splash art. Oh, okay. Hey, that's cool. Honestly, don't know how I want my animation to look. I just wanted to, it look like an animation, a good one that's not too rough, and I want to be able to do like action scenes and whatnot. And I already have some. I actually have some planned too already for some of the things because I know I've revised the story well enough over the years to pretty much just storyboard it like whenever I want. I can do it. Just needs dialogue at this point because I already know how it's gonna go. And now that and the webcomic is kind of like a prequel, so I have something to build off of as far as plot threads that somehow carry over to from one story to the next. They're not related stories, but they are connected in certain ways. I don't know the artist who does all the splash art. It seems like they still use some of the older art from back in 2011 and or 2009, I believe, and a mix of the new art as well. Unless they finally changed all the skins for the or the art for all the different skins you can buy. Because I know they had let me see, let me think of one. Um, was it Heimerdinger? There was somebody or Trundle. There was somebody who still had like their 2009 art to this day for one of their skins, and it looks terrible compared to like what they have now. The concept artist type like art station type concept art that they have right next to whoever the heck drew it back then. I don't even know. I mean, and it's kind of messed up because they had great artists back then. I don't know why they didn't just get those people to draw the art, but they got somebody to draw it. I don't know who's. Not to say that it was bad, but when it was all that artist drawing it, it made sense. But when you started updating the art and not updating all the art, you can see the night and day difference between it. It's very jarring. But it's not like it takes away from the game or the art. It's just like I think it's better if you stick to one style for all the art, unless that's the purpose of the project is like use a bunch of different artists and showcase their art through your work. That's fine too. It's just I, for a game like that where you have all these different kinds of art, it's just very noticeable. I think it's all updated now. Yeah, they still yeah, I know let me see. I think the Christmas Sona did they turn did my tracking turn back? Oh my god. Look at this. Wait, why did it move? Oh my yep, see, now it just turned back on for some reason. I don't know why it's doing that. I think from it moving, when I shake the desk it auto corrects. I think that's what's going on here. I'm shaking the desk when I move. I'm sorry about that. I need to secure that camera. Make my brush smaller here. I'm gonna try to shine this coin up some. I have to refer to my reference here of a coin, a shiny coin, a doubloon. Probably not a doubloon or a ducat. It's probably not a ducat either. So it's just a regular coin. It's a completely decorative coin. It's not meant for anything. You can't spend it anywhere, or maybe you can. I don't know. I could easily just say, "Oh yeah, it's a coin that it's an actual currency made into a." I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead. I just wanted a necklace set for this character, so I did. All right, don't at me. Oh, we got some areas here that I need to blend. I forgot. But no problem. We'll blend them. And it's starting to look more like a necklace now. It's still a little weird. You at me. You at me 99. Specifically said, don't at me. That is so easy to see in your peripheral. Like I can see a big red bar. I guess that's the point. I don't think it always did that. I'm not sure. I don't even know when they added the like the first time chatter bar. That wasn't always a thing though. I know, right? LOL, yeah. It's very easy to see. Like I can see it, I can still yeah, okay, this is where it starts to get a little tricky because I can see the rim on glasses more than the red bar, but I can still notice it because I know it's there now. But I'm pretty sure, okay, this is where it's out of my peripheral. Yeah, I can definitely see it when I turn this way. I'm sorry, I just wanted to see. But yeah, it's very noticeable. Yeah, just some touch ups here and there before I post it, but this is pretty much done, man. I don't know. I don't feel like I need to work on this anymore. I might just add the filter for the background and call it a day. I really skimped on the background because I didn't really have a plan for it. I just wanted it to be an outdoor background. I can blur that. Try to blur that now. Filter, right? See what happens if I use a filter now. Uh-oh, spaghettios. Blur. Okay, so I have to blur the actual layer, which means I'm going to have to blur everything in here. Okay, that's just the that reminds me, how do you enter mod mode on PC? You just click the there's somewhere on your channel where you just click the sword. And you click that and it enters mod mode. There should be like a whole icon that you can just click on. And it'll take you into mod mode. At this point, I'm not even gonna blur it. I'm not sure if I mean it's already blurry, so I can't really tell because I rough painted it in. I don't really. All right, so if the blur doesn't work, I'm going to work on the background some more, and but I'll do that off stream before I post it. I'm gonna post this up. Oh hell yeah! Thank you. Now who do I ban? There's no one to ban currently. But if you ever have to ban, you should have a you can just click on their name and ban them basically. Damn, I wanted to abuse my power. Well, I've only had two bots so far, so they're not coming in here. I hope I didn't jinx it, but they don't really come in here like that. I'm grateful for that. And it's usually right when I start. Usually right when I start is when they come in. So far, like my very first stream with as this is now with the setup, I had one, but I immediately got rid of that one, and then I think last week or the week before was another one at the beginning of the stream. I don't even remember what they were, some kind of follower bot offer or something like that, and I just let's get rid of that. Ain't got time for that. Um, yeah, I think this is it, man. I think this is done. I'm not gonna do another stream with this background. There's no point. There's so little like the things I need to do with this background will not take long at all. So I'll just do the rest of it off stream. Okay. So this is how the comic more or less is gonna look. Sans the background. The backgrounds are gonna be a little bit better. And I will correct whatever I need to correct before I post this somewhere. It'll be the first post in since 2015. So I used to regularly post my art until I started writing. And the last post I did was the Toxicroak thing that you chose 99 back in 2015. That's the last thing that I drew and posted. And I will be posting this somewhere. Twitter, probably I probably still do Newgrounds and Instagram, and all those links that will be below. Like you'll be able to, I'll have a little slideshow going somewhere below this viewing screen where you can see everything that I drew on stream, and maybe even things that I drew off stream. I'm not sure. I mean, there's really not much for me to draw off stream unless it's like NSFW, which I don't really do like that. But if I and I'm pretty sure you can't, I wouldn't be able to show that on the page anyway. So you know, there's as you it'll you know as far as that is concerned, it'll just be the meshes, and they'll always be clothed, so you won't even see that either. So maybe if you go to the page, you can see like the entire body or something like that. It ain't gonna be like nothing like erotic or anything. It's literally just you know, concept stuff if it's possible. I think if I do a character that has a full body tattoo, obviously they're gonna have to be naked, and but you'll be able to see the tattoo at least. You know, it ain't gonna be, it's not like anything like pornographic or anything. There's nothing like that in this comic book. It's some mature stuff, but it's not like cheesecake or anything like that for the most part. It's not an erotic book. It's an actual story. DeviantArt, I don't know if I'm gonna post on DeviantArt again. I've toyed with the idea. I used to have a DeviantArt, but I deleted it. I didn't want to be on that website anymore. Just not feeling it. But I might. I don't know. Never say never. But I will start posting again. What is cheesecake? Basically, if okay, if you have like if you show a female character on the screen, it's always like in the perspective of a male gaze. Like you'll have like her butt's out or whatever, or like you know it's zoomed in on her breasts or you know things like that. You know, in situations that don't even call for it at the you know for like for an example, fan service. Yes, fan service. Like if you have a character like talk about something serious, like you know something bad that happened to them, and then you're like you just have like while she's explaining this, you just have like a like a butt shot like front and center focus. It's like that stuff, that kind of like that type of stuff. No matter what it is, no matter the tone of the scene, you get the fan service. Basically, that's what they call cheesecake. It's not like that. It's not like I'm not. That's not the type of story I'm doing. Okay, I think if you're having a character that's trying to like seduce someone, you know that those type of things make sense because now you're seeing it from the perspective of you know whatever. Yeah, that's fine, you know, but it's not. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that's not the purpose of the web comic. It's whatever, you know. But yeah, that is already saved it. Okay, that's a scam call. But yeah, it's not like some comics are that from start to finish, no matter what it is. So that's why I say it's not that type of comic book. You know, like I said, there I can see that being a thing for a specific situations, but it's not the entirety of the book. You have a cat? No, I don't have a cat. I'm not a pet person to be honest, and don't crucify me for that. You know, I don't have a problem with pets. I just don't want to own one ever. Okay, not a pet person at all. I don't have any problem with pets. I'm just not a pet person. A cat? What made you think that? Huh? What made you think I have a cat? What made you think that? I've never had the only pet that I had was these are the pets that I've had in my life. I had turtles, I had a turtle pet, a pet turtle, I had a scorpion, an emperor scorpion, and some goldfish. Those were my pets. The shark quick look to the side. That was my phone. You didn't hear it? If you didn't hear it, then my noise gate works pretty well. My phone is loud. Also, so is my 4090. It's super loud, but I'm glad it doesn't pick up on the good. That's very good. Um I'm glad it doesn't pick up on the mic here because my 4090 I can hear no matter where I am in my apartment. It has a very high whine to it for some reason. I'm also not paying. You would have heard it. It's Wario saying nan 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 nan. Okay, you would have heard that. It's if you ever play Wario 64, I think it was, and you pause the game, it plays that. Good. I never even played that game. I just like the sound of that. I like having stupid stuff as a ringtone, so that's what I got. Um, yeah, the rest, whatever's left in this picture, I don't. I'm not gonna do it on stream. I'm going to some at some point in the next 4 days, um, prepare for the next work uh thing or the next stream thing. I like custom sounds and rings on my phone as well. Yeah, I had something from the Matrix. I was thinking I have some Metal Gear stuff. When you die in Metal Gear, I had that, and the tune that plays the dun, 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 I had that. Um, yeah, that's basically it, really. I usually stick with something for a long time. Even my ringtone is an Eternal Champion sound effect, or sorry, my text message notification. When if you kick somebody into the industrial fan in Eternal Champions on Blade stage, I have that sound. Or if you take Blade and you shoot his little disc, his little razor disc at somebody and it jams in your body and makes that sound, that's the sound. I have that sound on my ringtone. I've always liked that sound. It sounds like a highly digitized buzzsaw. I too paid $2 for an 8-second snippet of Nelly or whoever it was. Oh, I didn't do that. I never paid for a ringtone. What I do is I rip the sound from wherever it's from and just make it myself for free. That's been the sound for like 15 years. Yeah, it's been there for a while. Yeah. Um, I don't know when I first started using that sound, but I had that sound for a long time. I was thinking about using a different one, but I like that sound too much to change it. So yeah, expect that next week. We're gonna be I'm gonna try to get a workflow for clothing. I could wing it on stream, but I want to have a little more structure. Okay. So when I can do basic clothing, but it's not very intricate, like pockets and buttons and things like that and collars. It's just like very basic clothing. And then what I would do is I would just add whatever things that I wanted to add to that reference while I'm drawing it. But I'm not going to do that anymore. Now I'm going to make like actually accurate clothes in Blender, and that is what I'm working on. Okay, the topology is done. I smooth. It's not even in a grid anymore. I smoothed everything out, and I'm going to be trying to get my workflow together so I can show it on stream because it's right now it's just me learning how to do everything on Blender still. I was gonna wait and complete the whole process once and then start streaming, but I didn't want to wait anymore. Like I know I told people that I wanted to stream and I had already kept them. I felt like I was keeping them waiting for longer, and then I had to postpone everything for a couple of months because I had some real life issues that I had to deal with. So I was like, okay, I'll just stream it and we'll just go on and I'll just get a stream going. But I originally did things on ZBrush and Substance Painter, and but I don't have a license for that stuff, and they moved to a subscription model. I don't want to pay any more subscriptions for those things, so moved everything to Blender. Only problem with that is that now I have to relearn how to do some of the things, and that's what I'm doing now. So eventually I'm gonna have the whole process on Blender ready to go, and we can just do it. When I started having a personal computer, and then I would make my own snippets and just transfer them to my phone. Yeah, that's basically what I do now and how I started because I started late in doing that. Normally, I would just use the whatever default was on the phone and call it a day. But then I had this idea when I was working retail years ago to just have like these weird ringtones that would go off, and I didn't. And a couple of years more passed, and then I actually started doing it. So yeah, but yeah, that is the plan, for what I'm doing here. I'm still like trying to move my workflow into Blender. Eventually, you'll see the entire workflow. Um, and once I get seven or so, I already actually counted. Yeah, it's seven. Once I get seven meshes in, you're gonna start to seeing the actual pages to the webcomic as well. All right. So I think we're gonna call it for today. I already told you what I'm going to be doing next week. I'll be back Monday with the new projects. Um, I don't know if I'll have the mesh ready, so expect another digital art, but it'll be something different this time, something a little more along the lines of creature design. I appreciate everyone who's watched live or VOD or on YouTube. I appreciate you all. And if you come back